I'm talking to the Asian Hutch Mansell here, you know?
Timo, I'm a huge fan, and for those of us who are going into Nobody without having seen what you've done with May the Devil Take You one and two, and then also just some of the other action films that you've done, Shadow Strays, for example, they are in for a wild surprise because you know action better than everyone, man, and I love it. I love it so much. How are you taking some of what you've learned from your previous movies and your experiences with some of the Indonesian films that you've done and bring them to a completely new audience with a US based film like Nobody too?
Thank you, man. But again, like I like what you said there. And it's very encouraging. But like I feel I still have a lot to learn, you know. But thank you very much. You are a very kind man. I think here's the thing. Like I think every place or every specific culture interpret violence in a different way, you know. And I came from that school of, I guess, almost like you could say like a specific Asia type of filmmaking, Hong Kong, Korean, what have you. And Korean deal with, you know, like portray violence in a very different way than, let's say, a Hong Kong film, right? Especially if you're looking at films of Kim Ji-woon and all that stuff, you know, like there's almost like this kind of uncomfortable edge. And I grow up a lot on that, so my films tend to sort of reflect that as well. You know, like if I make films like The Night Comes for Us, The Shadow Strays, yes, the violence is still enjoyable for action film aficionado, but I kind of like try to push it just a bit further away. It just feels a bit more uncomfortable, and you know that there is a repercussion behind all of those violent acts, right? There's consequences, and I think with going to Hollywood, especially making a film, you know, like within the Nobody franchise, I understand that Americans tend to have a different perspective to violence. Violence is something that is, you know, for better or worse, I think it's fun, you know. It's fun, it's colorful, and I like that actually. You know, like not every I think when you are thinking cinematically violence, you have to kind of like put it in a different context than what real life is, you know. Especially Nobody, where there is no political context or whatsoever. There's that theme, yes, there's a theme of fatherhood, there's a theme of having family and all that stuff. But in terms of Nobody, I think I'm adjusting myself to a glasses where, look, at the end of the day, I want to make a film where people will come out of it feeling good, you know, like they feel like they share this family experience. They share the chaos of this guy who's trying to juggle the family life and staying out of trouble. And that's what I want to bring, you know. That's why I kind of understand that let's make the violence punchy and visceral, but not that to the point where it's going to be traumatizing, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I really like that. And it kind of you're taking a lot of the themes that you've done in previous action films that you've had and bringing it here too, because think about Hutch and Agent 13. They're both trying to get away from these sort of violent circumstances as much as possible. Like this life that they're in is chaotic, it's crazy, it's dangerous. And you're kind of bringing that into this movie and these themes as well, which is really smart, you know?
Right, right. The idea is not this guy is looking for violence. The idea is like this guy is trying to avoid it, but you know, like wherever you go, there you are, you know. And this film is all about the identity, right? Like, are you Hutch Mansell? Are you that family man, or are you the guy who secretly loved these things? You know, like these acts of violence, where secretly he's searching for it, whether he likes to admit it or not.
Speaking of Bob, so I myself was a huge fan of just his comedy always with Mr. Show, Better
Mhm.
Call Saul, one of the greatest television shows ever made. And
Exactly.
now
Agree.
with Nobody, right? Like he's
Mm.
so good. Is there anything Bob Odenkirk can't do? Like in your experience working with him?
Well, I think he might could use some help in the singing department. No, I'm kidding. No, no, no. But no, no. You know what? Here's the thing. Bob is a lot of things for me. I think by the end of it, I like to believe that he is also weirdly some sort of father figure, because like, you know, I remember after our last day, like the two of us walking in Winnipeg, we had our little dinner together, and then he surprisingly he gave me a lot of life advice, you know, especially being in this industry. And I appreciate that in him, just because I think Bob is one of those guys who got his sort of got his flower bloom kind of a bit later in this in the latest stage of his career, you know, like, so, you know, like he was, yeah, Mr. Show and everything, and like also his you know, like more famous sort of Saturday Night Live you know, like comedic pieces. But when he really comes out, it's like when Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul's happening, right? Like he was already in his late 40s to 50s at that point. And him telling me the importance of, you know, staying grounded, you know, being in this career is really something that I'm looking up to him to, you know, like he gave me a lot of wise words, that's for sure. To answer your question, I think he can be a lot of guys. Like, here's the thing. If you want Bob to do a dance musical, I truly believe that. He did Broadway just not long ago, you know, like,
That's
and
right.
so well received. Good for him, you know.
So coming soon, Nobody the Musical, right?
Nobody
No,
3 the musical.
no, Nobody
Exactly.
Three the
That's
Musical.
what we want to do.
My final question to you is: I love the work that you do with Chemo as well. The
Yep.
Mo brothers are just brilliant. Are you think?
Thank
Do you
you.
think Chemo is gonna come and kind of do a Mo brothers thing for an American production at some
You know
point
what?
with
I
you?
know. Look, man, I really love horror, but like I gotta admit, I've been sort of like slacking in the horror department of late, just because, you know, action projects keep coming to me, and I do love action, but like I gotta admit, Kimo has been really honing his skill with the horror filmmaking, on the horror filmmaking side of it, and he's getting better and better. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, like if in this coming times, like he suddenly be a director for a Hollywood horror project, you know. So yeah.
I'm look. I would look forward to that honestly so much. Timo, thank you so much for your time. This was a
Hey, thank
gift,
you, and
and
thank you
Nobody
for
Two was
putting that
amazing.
colorful makeup, man. I really like it, man.
Absolutely, pal.
It's
Thank you
really
so
great.
much.
Hey, I like
Have a good
that.
one.